Rick, what is unexpected capacity?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's a holdover from the old guard. Let's look at some older statements. Mark, got a minute?
Sure thing. What's up?
Carter noticed something strange with some of the financials.
These are popping up out of nowhere. Rick asked me to look at some older records to see if it was new or not.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, they started showing up a few weeks before Sarah took over from the old CEO.
You've never seen this before, Rick?
I don't think so. But you know how cross-eyed I can get while looking at these balance sheets.
Leave these with me. I'll take a look tonight, see what I can find. Maybe Sarah changed something.
We should let her know as soon as possible.
Give me some time to have a look before we bug her. She's got enough on her plate.
What's going on with Carter?
Rick thinks he made a mistake while going through some old statements. I think we caught him trying to manipulate the data to gain access to our accounts.
Rick's keeping him around?
Against my better judgment, particularly since the ransomware attack. But Rick thinks giving the kid a second chance is how to proceed. Really, it's my fault. Rick hired him based on my recommendation. He looked great on paper.
I'll have Rick brief me later. Don't be too hard on yourself. We should get going.
Yes, ma'am. Lead the way. What's going on?
The ransomware attack was more sophisticated than we thought, so the FBI came out to brief Non on how things are going on their end. They should be finishing up.
So it seems very troubling that you were hit with 2 attacks in such a close time frame.
Sarah, this is Agent Johnson from the FBI and Agent...
Also, Agent Johnson.
Thank you both for coming out. How was your discussion?
I learned a lot about the attack, and their team picked up on a lot of things that we missed.
Do you know who did this?
Not yet. This was more complex than we first thought.
A big concern of ours is that you were hit with the initial hack and then the ransomware attack in quick succession.
Non also mentioned that you recently found an issue with some financial reports.
The program was duplicating information, and it was throwing an error we hadn't seen before. I found the workaround online and was able to fix it, and then Nan and her team updated the software. We were a few versions behind.
Great. That's what we'd like to hear.
We're running over, and I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Once we get back to the office, I'll send Nan some more information, and then she should brief your team on what we discussed today.
That sounds great. Thank you. Team, let's let the agents get on with their day.
When did you get this?
I decided to treat myself.
It's gorgeous. Where did you get the money for something like this?
I had an unfortunate windfall. I'd really rather not talk about it.
Miss Evans, I have Agent Johnson holding.
Thank you. Please put him through. Hi, Agent Johnson. This is Sarah Evans.
Miss Evans, I had a thought after we left.
Okay, what is it?
Have any of your employees shown any signs of undue wealth? Or maybe unannounced or expensive travel to foreign countries?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
What about dissatisfied, distracted, or disgruntled employees?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Miss Evans, do you think you or your staff would report any indicators of insider threat if they saw them?
Insider threat? I'm not sure. Why?
A threat from inside your organization is something to consider. Really, it could be someone acting wittingly or unwittingly. I'll send some information over to Nan. There's a lot of resources I can direct your team to. Online courses, webinars. There's a great website that has a lot of stuff. I'll touch base and let her follow up with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Agent Johnson.
My pleasure, ma'am. If you think of anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Will do. Bye.
Welcome to the Strong Arm Effect podcast. This is episode 1, Fraud, the Phantom Menace. I'm your host, Inara Johnson. Fraud. What is it? What are the signs? How can you prevent it? Fraud is any activity that relies on deception in order to achieve a gain of some sort. Internal organizational fraud, for example, is when an employee, manager, or executive of an organization deceive the organization itself. Think embezzlement, cheating on taxes, and lying to investors and stakeholders.
Learn more about the different types of fraud and view select case studies at www.cdse.edu.